If you could go back to being 18, what's one thing you would change in your skincare routine?
I'm here today with 4 different women at 4 different life stages. We're going to talk to them about their skin and find out how I can help. I'm Dr. Raj, let's get into it.
I suffered with cystic acne.
I'm smack bang in the middle of menopause.
When I was younger, your sunscreen was olive oil and vinegar.
I have vitiligo. I've had it since I was 15.
Taja, tell us a bit about your skin then. Tell us what's been happening.
I suffered with cystic acne from the age of 15 till I was roughly around 22 to 23. My doctor at the time said it's pretty normal. It was a very tough time for me. I tried all different remedies for it, and nothing worked. So I was told to go to a dermatologist, and the acne's cleared up now, but now I've left with sort of like very small holes in my skin, sort of like craters. My skin is combined skin, so some parts are dry, like around my nose, and then my T-zone is really, really oily. So at the moment, I'm struggling with what has been left from the acne, the scarring and the holes as well also.
And how old are you, Taja?
I'm 36.
Okay, so you're at a stage where your skin will be going through some sort of changes. Into your 30s and 40s, you'll start to see skin types changing. If you've got oily skin, you might become more combination. You might even start becoming more dry skin as you enter into perimenopause and your hormones change and your estrogen starts to decline. So all these wonderful things that can happen to change our skin. And with the cystic acne, what treatments did you have?
It was like a solution, something to rub onto it, which did help, but then it would come and go.
But you're left with obviously the scarring.
Yeah.
And how does that scarring and pigmentation make you feel?
It makes me feel sad because I just wish that I had smoother skin, especially like when I wear blusher. I can't really wear like heavy blush because you can see it even more. So yeah, it does make me upset, and I'm not sure whether to get like a chemical pill or something to reduce it.
It's so hard in skin of colour because I think there's so much that we see that can go wrong with having certain treatments and not understanding how different levels of melanin in the skin can react to different treatments. But certainly there's definitely treatments you can have for post-acne scarring and pigmentation. And, you've got to make sure you're having them done at the right place, with the right experienced professionals. But peels, lasers, all these different things you can have that can help. But even a step before that, just protecting your skin with good sunscreen, obviously broad spectrum sunscreen, as you mentioned, making sure that you're using the right topicals. You might want to use something topically for your skin. So retinoids will give you really good cell turnover, will help to reduce the appearance of pores, for example. You've mentioned little bumps in the skin, it can help with that as well. For redness and inflammation, you've got things like azelaic acid. You've got to make sure your barrier of the skin's intact. So using the right hydrating products, using the right moisturizers with ceramides in them, really important as well. There's a lot of things you could probably add to your skincare routine there that might really help. And you will see some change if you keep to it and you're consistent.
I'm 22 and I have vitiligo. I've had it since I was 15.
And do you remember anything in particular that triggered your vitiligo, or how it started?
I believe that at the time it was due to stress. I wasn't eating the best.
And how has your journey been with the vitiligo over the last 6-7 years?
It was tough in the beginning. Obviously 15 is quite a difficult age. You go through a lot of things at 15, but I was able to overcome it. It was COVID at that time actually, so I was inside. So I was able to sit with it and learn about myself and grow my confidence. And as I've gotten older and accepted myself more, I love my skin now.
Oh, that's so lovely to hear. Tell us a bit about what that transition looked like for you, and what sort of things happened or you did on your journey that made you, get this great confidence, because it's so lovely to see that.
Realising that you'll never be truly happy if you don't accept yourself, and life is short but it's long, so the quicker you do that, the happier your life will be, and I really want a happy life, so I tried to see it in a positive light as fast as I could.
I think so many of us can take away from that. That's so lovely.
An issue that I have with my skin, however, is itching.
Yes.
It itches quite a lot, and I'm not sure the triggers for that. I noticed that it does itch in places that it's spreading, and I would love to know, not to stop it, but to manage that.
So with vitiligo, there's lots of different causes. You mentioned stress. So there's something called the autoimmune response, which can basically be where your skin sort of protective system sees a melanocyte, which is a cell that produces melanin, and actually attacks it, and starts to produce antibodies against it. And that's how you get the loss of pigment. And sometimes what we can see is that autoimmune response can be triggered by stressful events, like you mentioned. Other times we can have different causes, genetic causes. There might be environmental factors, for example, that take place. All these things can contribute to and cause vitiligo. One of the things that a lot of people see is that actually when you have loss of pigment, or before you have loss of pigment, the skin can be quite itchy, and that inflammation on the skin, that itchiness, can then lead to that response of the melanin being lost. So One of the things that I do say to patients is to moisturise the skin, really, really well. What sort of things are you using to moisturise your skin at the moment?
I use very thick emollient cream, so Aproderm and things of that sort. I found that a menthol cream, when it's quite inflamed, helps to reduce the itching. But I do moisturise quite frequently, and I always carry cream with me.
Good, yeah, and emollients are really helpful. But there's something called the itch-scratch cycle. So when you're itching your skin, you're releasing something called histamine, which then causes more itchiness on the skin. So you're almost exacerbating the issues. Trying to moisturise it, using medication if you need to, if your doctor approves that, to help reduce the itch as well, and trying to actually cool down the skin, like you're saying. All these things can help. Putting a moisturiser or emollient in the fridge can be helpful as well, so it's colder when you're applying it. These sort of things can be really helpful.
That's a great idea, yeah. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. So generally, at the age of 22, you're kind of going through that phase of your life where you've kind of gone through puberty and, your skin's starting to settle into its skin type, I guess. But not always. Skin can also change. So you might find that in your 20s, your skin's levelling out. You're not finding as many breakouts, for example. You might find even from early 20s that you start to lose collagen, 1% per year. So you might start to see very early fine lines and wrinkles or loss of laxity into your mid-20s, into your late 20s. And one of the really important things, not just for skin with vitiligo, but for anybody really, is to ensure that you're using a broad spectrum sunscreen. So you're protecting your skin. Make sure that you're protecting your skin from those harmful UV rays that are going to damage the skin further, break down elastin, break down collagen, and accelerate aging. A nice moisturising, hydrating, broad spectrum SPF 50 sunscreen would be great too.
Amazing. Thank you very much.
And that's something I would advise all people of your age to do.
So Malaysia, you was 15 when you first realised that you had vitiligo. How did that feel?
I found it really tricky at first, but mentally it was quite difficult to get to know, not expecting what you're going to look like. You don't know what you're going to look like. It changes every day. So that was quite scary, but fortunately I'm a brave person, so I was able to mentally overcome it and overcome the challenges with a lot of self-work. What about you? Because you was also the same age?
Yeah, I was really young at the time, and for me it was, when it first started to occur, I was just really tough about it, and I thought, it will go away. And then after several years, it did really get me down.
Can I just say, you're both gorgeous women.
Oh.
So owning who you are is, I think, part of that inner beauty, and really kind of being confident, body confident.
Absolutely.
That's really important. So well done.
So Sonia, tell us a bit about your skin journey and where you are today.
Right, well, I'm smack bang in the middle of menopause, that wonderful journey that midlife ladies get. And so, like our young colleagues here, I had oily skin when I was young. So moving from oily, supple skin to very dry skin, and sort of having pigmentation start to appear, and being very reactive to the sun. Yeah. So I am generally quite honoured with daily sunblock routine, but I do feel, because my skin is drier, there's less collagen, so you are more susceptible to sun damage. And I do feel that I do try and take care of my skin, but it feels like a slippery slope at this age. And to also, obviously we all age, but to maintain a healthy looking skin so that the aging process is slower. Yeah, that's quite tough.
And how old are you, Sonia?
I'm 55.
55, okay. And tell us a bit about how that transition felt. So obviously you've mentioned you used to have oily skin and now dry skin. On your confidence, what kind of impact did that have?
So the whole kind of structure of your face and skin changes. You lose collagen when you lose estrogen. So the dryness and the loss of collagen makes your skin feel less supple, and you actually kind of physically feel it. It's not just how you look. So, suddenly everything feels a lot less firm, and that really is a bit of a shock. I think we all feel that we're kind of built to last, and the aging, when you see other people age, and when it hits you, it's like, oh my God, right, this is it, this is actually happening. And I think it's probably a slow process, but you'd see the impact quite radically, I feel. And certainly sort of when you post 50, I felt the change much more.
And what does your skincare routine look like today then?
So exfoliate, use kind of more natural based face washes. I use retinol at night, so that night repair element. Obviously sunblock in the morning after moisturizing before I leave the house. I try and drink as much water as I can. I try and have a professional facial every 3rd month, just to keep the pores clean, and again to rehydrate my skin.
Well, it looks like you're doing lots of great stuff then, the skincare routine. So yeah, it's fantastic.
You haven't seen me in the morning.
No, I'm sure you look just as great. Is there anything you want to ask, you think, you have a question about when it comes to your skin at this stage, going through menopause?
I suppose it's about, because as I mentioned, you lose a lot of collagen. So are there products that you can use that have collagen in it, or is it something you have to ingest? Because I know it's something that's dietary as well. What would you recommend as a combination?
It's a really good question, actually, and this gets asked all the time. And the thing to remember is, we'll talk back to the two things, so topical and then also ingesting. So topically, you can use collagen creams, but obviously you want to think about the molecule size of collagen, which is quite large, so it doesn't just pass down into your skin easily. So when you're looking at anything that's going to be applied to the skin topically, it needs to be hydrolyzed. It's like broken down, like peptides or broken down fragments. And what they actually do is when you put them onto the skin, rather than giving collagen immediately to the skin, they actually signal your own skin to produce more collagen and to have more fibroblast activity, which are the cells that produce collagen. Topically, that's what you can do. And then in terms of ingesting collagen, what your body does is when you give it collagen, it ingests it and your body takes it in, it breaks down your gut into smaller pieces of collagen, so peptides or amino acid chains, and then the body uses that individually as it sees fit. So if my body thinks, oh, Dr. Raj, you need some collagen in your joints, it will go to the joints. And if in yours it thinks it should go to the skin, it'll go to the skin. So it's not guaranteed that collagen is going to go straight to your skin. However, having said that, before everyone comes at me, collagen does have a place, so it definitely can enhance and help the skin, especially when you're going through those stages of perimenopause, menopause, and you're losing collagen rapidly.
I'd wish really I'd had that advice 20 years ago, because 20 years ago I had lack of skin advice, and that perhaps would have helped me a little bit now.
Yeah. So Lina, tell us a bit about your skin then and where you are with it today. Tell us how old you are to begin with.
Well, I'm 75. Wow. It's a bit of a shock when you look in the mirror every day and you think, oh, is that really me? It's lack of knowledge really, because when I was younger, your sunscreen or your sun lotion was olive oil and vinegar, and that's what you would put out in that. So really it was lack of information as a child and a young adult. And the good thing today is you've got all this advice, and I think that's absolutely marvellous now. I mean, I do try and take care of my skin, but you can see the damage. I've got pigmentation. I've probably got more wrinkles than I would have had if I'd had a good routine all my life. But also got very, very dry skin in areas. I'm a bit fearful of exfoliating because it kind of breaks certain areas, it just breaks my skin.
Can make it more dry, it can be quite harsh, I think the thing is, first of all, Lina, is that your skin looks lovely, and I think, you've got lots of volume and that really makes you look really youthful and beautiful. Photo damaging, I think I see a lot of patients who are in their 60, 70 plus who echo exactly what you've said. Obviously, we do have the blessing of having more informed knowledge now and we can make those decisions. But I think even so, the question is around protecting your skin, even at this stage. So you need to make sure that no matter which decade of life you're in, you're always protecting your skin with the right sunscreen, broad spectrum, SPF 50. It will make sure that your pigmentation doesn't worsen or that rapid photoaging. That's more, slower. Doing that's a really great first step. And the way your skin is dry, I would think about infusing more hydrating ingredients into your skin. So for your skin's barrier, for example, you might want to think about using like a really hydrating moisturizer, something with like ceramides in it, which can help strengthen the skin's barrier. When the barrier is disrupted, anything else you put onto that skin is going to almost sensitize the skin. So you want to repair the skin's barrier, keep the skin nice and moisturized, and then slowly introduce actives. So you could introduce like an exfoliating acid, a lactic acid, a mandelic acid, a gentle acid that slowly exfoliates the skin as a first step. And as you build up on those exfoliation steps, you'll see that then you can go to something a bit stronger, and then you can introduce like a retinol, a lower, slower pace, and then bring that up. And bring in that lovely fibroblast activity, so elastin kind of builds back up again, and you get more sort of plumpness of the skin, and you kind of want to bring that youthfulness back in without really taking away from the fact that you've lived a lovely, beautiful life,
Because I'm not trying to look younger. I'm not that's not my objective. It's just to get that glow back. And to obviously perhaps do the best I can for
your
my skin.
And I think just knowing the right steps can be really helpful in that. So
I have used sort of the acid.
Yes.
But perhaps they've been too strong.
It might have been. And then what happens is you use an acid and then it does not right for your skin. And then you think, oh God, I'm too scared to try something now, and I think it's about knowing which steps to take.
So little and then
little
build
and slow
up.
And build up.
Okay. It's good advice, thank you.
You're welcome.
Lina, I'm interested. If you could go back to being 18, what's one thing you would change in your skincare routine?
I think the main thing would be sunscreen and SPF and also moisturiser, because I can't remember ever using moisturiser at your age. Wow. And, you know, if you can learn by looking at my skin and, you know, please take that forward.
Thank you to all my lovely panellists today for your contributions. And if you've enjoyed this video, please do like and subscribe for more skincare content like this. And if you have any questions, please comment below.